at the year end.
OK, Tony, thanks very much. It's my last show on Friday, by the way, so it's the last time I'll have the pleasure. But thanks for everything, Tony. Thanks very much. Have you ever had one of those days where you felt like throwing your computer out of the window? Well, for a company in Oxfordshire, it's their business to make sure that if you do, it doesn't break. They design hardware and computer equipment for military use, actually, but they also cater for the commercial market, which could come in useful for some of us. We sent Rachel to meet them.
This is a commercial memory stick. You've probably used one to transfer photos or documents from your home computer. This is a ruggedised memory stick designed specifically for use in the defence market. But they're both made by the same company. So I've come to find out just how difficult it is to cater for two different markets. This is Blazepoint. Based in Oxfordshire, the design and engineering company manufacture their products on site for both the commercial and defence market. Their lineup ranges from chip and pin handsets to sell tickets on trains to printers ready for use on the battlefield. You supply products to both the commercial market and the defence market. Are there any problems with supplying products to two such different markets?
The end product and the concept of those markets may look different, but in fact there are underlying similarities, and the techniques we use to produce the right products for those markets are actually very similar. In the defence market there's been a move, and there has to be an increasing move, away from very expensive bespoke solutions to very clever adaptations of commercial products which will still perform under the extreme circumstances that you find with defence products. And increasingly in the commercial side, we find that commercial products have to adapt to our mobile way of life, and they have to be almost equally as rugged as the defence products.
Once a company approaches Blazepoint with a request, it takes them on average 12 weeks to design, test and manufacture their products. So how does production work here at the factory? Because it's not your traditional production line, is it?
No, it's not. We tend to make small batches of high-value product. And that high-value product can be spread across two marketplaces, between commercial and defence.
So the sort of products that the defence market wants, are they often a completely different product to the commercial market?
Well, actually, they're a bridge between the two. Typically, a soldier would have IT equipment at home, a laptop, a PC, or indeed a printer like the one we see on the bench here. Of course, this would be no use for them whatsoever in the field, in their workplace. So we transform it, this piece of commercial equipment, into this.
This is your defence printer?
This is indeed. And
ruggedised?
Ruggedised printer. To ruggedise it, we followed some 582 lines of specification that were laid down by the customer. And the level of detail that's required in this, an example of which is that the lighting on the front, which indicates when the cartridges require changing. We have to determine what kind of LED, what colour of LED, how many times it flashes, the intensity.
So really specific.
Really, really detailed. And not just the detail, it's the verification of that, which requires a lot of testing.
To make sure their products live up to their customers' requirements, Blazepoint use a range of tests, from bumping them 4,000 times in 6 hours, plunging them to temperatures of -50 degrees Celsius, and exposing them to 95% humidity. And then there's the drive-over test. This is a PC tablet. It's been designed for the military, and as we can see, it's working at the moment. The question is, can it survive the drive-over test? Okay, moment of truth. Screen still there, and it's still working. You obviously do a lot of testing on your products. You've got the drop test, the drive-over test, the bump test. Have any of the products ever failed at the 11th hour?
Most of our equipment has to go through accelerated tests, which may take anything up to 36 hours. We have had an occasion where a single cable became detached on a printer at about 35 hours and 42 minutes. This meant, of course, it failed the test and had to go back and do the whole thing again. But those are the sort of things you learn to cope with. You also learn to cope with not necessarily going to bed to sleep that night, but possibly to redesign something.
Built to withstand the toughest environments and military procedures, Blazepoint's products should be able to stand up to even the toughest office tasks.
Rachel Horne, other business users.